Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to the shows every Thursday at 8:01 p.m. and full versions online at WCBE.org. Support for Cinema Classics comes from Film Columbus, the Film Commission of Central Ohio, enriching our community and empowering individuals, organizations, and businesses to make Columbus a destination for film education, exhibition, and production. Learn more at filmcolumbus.com. I'm Johnny
Go ahead.
I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
This is obviously Cinema Classics.
It is.
We've said it 3 times already.
Right, we can't say it enough.
Yeah.
You know, recently Hereditary made a big splash. Horror film.
Yeah.
But to me, what's important is that it's put out there by an entertainment company called A24.
The very notion that we're talking about a film distribution organization on this show.
Wow, yeah.
It says a lot.
Oh, it's first time.
You know how excited people would get when they would see the 20th Century Fox logo come up and with the fanfare and all that. You know, this is the independent film equivalent of that feeling.
You got it.
When you sit down in the theater and you see that little blurry A come up with the 24 following it, you know, at the very least, you're going to be shown a quality piece of work. Now, it might not be, an instant classic, but you're not going to get garbage.
You know, it reminds me of the notice that Miramax got when it was putting out all those classy films early on. Really, I think one of the first times that people were aware there was something like an independent company.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yes, A24 is like the new Miramax.
Yeah,
It is just this stamp of, high quality, well-made, interesting films. So let's talk about the films.
Yes.
I first became aware of A24 when I saw Under the Skin.
Oh yeah. Oh sure,
Scarlett
Johansson.
And I was so impressed with that movie because it was the most Stanley Kubrick-like film that I'd seen since Stanley Kubrick died. But I was really struck by that. And then I started noticing it. Like, I noticed it right away.
Yeah, yeah.
And that same year, in 2013, or was that 2013? 2014. Right before I started noticing it, they did Spring Breakers, which is that crazy movie with James Franco as sort of like a drug-dealing, pimp.
Well, for me, in 2014, my first notice was A Most Violent Year. And followed up the next year with Ex Machina.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
and both
wow.
starring Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, boy.
So, they used
Classy films.
It's like a little studio. That they
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
Right? But before that, don't forget they had Denis Villeneuve's Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal.
They had
Locke. Remember the movie where Tom Hardy is just driving around on a telephone?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Spectacular Now with Miles Teller.
Yep.
This was good stuff. Then they hit it big 3 years ago with Room.
Yeah, Room. That was
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson got the Oscar for that performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
And I don't think it's it's interesting because looking back, it's not as strong as some of the other films that they had. I don't know. I didn't think The Room was as great as everybody said.
They did have The Green Room, which I think you and I both liked.
Yeah, that was an interesting movie with Patrick Stewart as the head of this.
Yeah,
what is it?
Grungy
White nationalists.
Yeah,
what are they?
Anton Yelchin.
Yeah, Yeltsin. Yeah, and they were a band that was trapped in the green room.
They were trapped in the green room.
Because they had witnessed a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tight little, interesting kind of horror film.
But this is such a diverse company that they follow that up with The Lobster.
Right.
Which is completely off
the
charts as far as being normal. It's a strange movie.
So, let's just. So after that,
they have a
The
really
Lobster,
good one.
You have the Brian De Palma documentary, De Palma. You have Swiss Army Man.
That's the one I thought you'd come on
with,
right away.
Daniel Radcliffe as a farting corpse. Moonlight, Best Picture winner.
Best Picture winner. How bad is that?
20th Century Women, which I thought was completely underrated. That's a great movie with Annette Bening.
Annette Bening.
A Ghost Story.
Whoa.
I love that.
But don't you love the way they these odd movies that they
so
throw
what
in?
what are they looking for?
Yeah, well,
when they pick up a movie to distribute, what are they looking for?
Yeah, I think they're looking for something different. I think they're looking for something esoteric, and maybe something almost bordering on supernatural. If you look at, of course, if you look at Ghost Story,
and The Lobster.
Yeah,
and
right. Yeah. But yet at the same time, the most violent year, which is just rooted in the politics of New York City. You know, you can get right down and dirty with these people.
Yeah.
And yet you can get weird.
And right now in theaters, they have Hereditary, which you
Right.
mentioned, which is a very interesting movie. And First Reformed, which is Paul Schrader's
Oh, thank you.
his
Yes.
new version of Taxi Driver with a priest.
I know. Well, wait a minute. Let's not forget one of my favorites of last year, the Florida Project.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Willem
about that.
Dafoe.
Another little great
Right,
movie.
and it got lost.
So, see, there are these gritty realist films, like A Florida Project, and I would say maybe like Moonlight.
Right.
And
Can I throw in another one?
and Lady Bird. Yeah,
All right. Can I throw in another
for
one?
sure.
Killing of the Sacred Deer.
Yeah, the same guy that did The Lobster.
Yes, right.
Lachrymose. Lachrymose Snarsgaard.
Yorgos Lanthimos.
You Yargos. You're you Lanthimos. Yargos.
But and you mentioned Lady Bird,
Mhm.
an outstanding film last year. Greta Gerwig's directorial, really tour de force, I think, in that genre.
Yeah.
So wow. Did we forget one of the oddest ones of last year that
What's
I
that?
really liked?
What?
That got deep sick because of all this Harvey Weinstein kind of business. The Disaster Artist.
Oh yeah! Wow! Yeah.
How about that?
That is one of Franco's favorite films, by the way.
Oh, well. No, that's
I have
because of-
seen it 3 times
Oh, is that right?
because he loves to watch that movie.
Well, he loves dressing up in a tuxedo and a goofy shirt or whatever it is. Yes.
No, I mean Franco. My Franco.
I know.
Oh yeah.
And would that be because of James Franco?
I don't know. Hey, that's just sheer. That's just a cherry on top for him that he shares that name. But yeah, he loves that film.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
So I mean, I can't remember any time. I mean, we're talking about a span of 5 years here.
Yes, that's right.
Going back to Spring Breakers and now with First Reformed. I wrote down here when we were talking about doing this, at least 20, 25 films.
You got it. I
mean,
do.
It's astonishing.
Oh, yeah. You know, and there's a little one that came out last year that I like that nobody else likes. Good Time with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but what I'm saying is, even though you might not like it,
Right.
it's an oddly different and interesting, if not great film. So
Right, and that, you're right. There are these movies that are grounded in, realism. But some of these other grittier, more, like you said, the odder ones, the ones with these weird tones, that could go horribly wrong, because if you're just looking for that, there are 1,000 independent films, I'm sure, being made every day that are striving for that weirdness and going horribly wrong, or they're just insufferable or pretentious. A24 seems to be able to just hone in on that, like, we're just pushing the boundaries of being too weird or too precious,
But so far with a couple of dozen movies that they've made really good choices on that weird edge. Yeah. And I would, if I were they, and they're probably listening to our show now.
I'm sure.
They would
They might pick us up for distribution.
They would take your advice and be very careful about the choice of their weird films in the future.
Yeah.